Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think. Gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
On second down, here's Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now a play fake. Wentz under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. Drops it off to Ajayi. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win. 2
yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Now let's go. Green.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. He'll check this one down to Michelle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
Operating from the gun. Fields. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing on 1st down. Fields toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Stefon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Michelle. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. To throw on 3rd down. Fields. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
He leaves this one for Howard. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. He got 29 yards that time.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They run with Ajayi, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Gerald McCoy with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now a pitch out to Michel, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On third down, Fields trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22, and they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now it's Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And Suckup will put this one right through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held him to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there. 2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On first down, Fields throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Now let's go.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields And an alley to run. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Ryan Suckup on for the point after. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And the lead grows to 10-0. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL Kickoff Weekend. 10-zip our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake. Fields. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line.
Off play action. Fields. Going deep for Diggs. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
There we go. Back. 120.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. This is Ajayi pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
They don't want it, brothers. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, brothers.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way. As well.
Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Here's Ajayi, and he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Here we go. 120.
Throwing his Wentz. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now we move our focus to Stefon Diggs. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. A give. This is Michel. Gets around him, and he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back to throw. Fields. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Off the play fake. Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2, and most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
23 yards on the play.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Wentz now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Two minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. That coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Ertz over the middle. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Ajayi with the benefit of a full training camp behind him, excelling in this Eagle backfield as they come up on first down. Wentz now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw is Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now out comes Minnesota. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They begin with Michel on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start with the oldest rivalry, Chicago playing host to Green Bay in the NFC North. And it's the Packers who are out in front in the second quarter. The Packers looking for the win on the road in Week 1. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. The Browns looking to get their season off on the right foot. They've got the lead on the road. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital. See what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. The Lions looking to get off to a hot start, and a road win would help them do just that. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Around the NFL, second quarter in Chicago. Early lead in that one for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They start the second half with Michel on the ground. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
To throw on second down. Fields. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
First down.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
3-19. 3-19.
Off play action. Fields. His throw caught right around the 6. A very solid gain of 27. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And they'll run it here. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the gun, Fields to the right side to Eric Ebron. They'll give him a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a third and goal.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal?
Set. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Fields. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Calvin Ridley, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Wentz. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz, and this is going to be incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And if they're going to take it in for another touchdown like they did on their last drive, they're going to have to do it the hard way, starting at the 1.
And boy, is that a difficult position. Obviously, where they are on the field, they have to be careful with the football. But at the same time, they can't be so careful that they can't run their offense as well. Everyone's got to lock in this situation. No mistakes.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they'll walk him back half the distance. Following the penalty, Michel able to make one man miss, but he will be corralled around the 10-yard line. That's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And it's Michel once again. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that's going to push him back half the distance.
Here we go now. Green.
Again, it's Michel. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. But 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Here we go. Green.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back.
Let's go. Blue line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now let's go. Blue line. Blue line.
From the gun on 3rd down. Fields. And he's able to find Diggs. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. A gain of 11 and a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Fields. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll turn to Michelle as they go back to the ground. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue.
From the gun, Fields. And that is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing now is Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lamb. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now wins. And he's got his man on the out route. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Wentz looking very much like his pre-injury self. He's got the Eagles on the move with a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
They're giving the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Wentz now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. The former 1st-round pick, Vernon Hargreaves, the one who was there defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And his throw is going to be incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Again, it's Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. In for the score. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
Extra point put through by Suckup. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on his drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Timmy Jernigan able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd down and 12.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Fields completes it to Lee. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense. When you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now Wentz on third down. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Set, 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
To throw on 2nd down, Fields. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Fields. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Fields. He'll check this one down to Michelle. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the front.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good
start offense.
That's his first NFL game. Maybe give him a mulligan on the flag.
I think you have to, because my guess is that on the bus ride over, if he just tapped him on the shoulder, he would have jumped up and grabbed the top of the bus, don't you think?
Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Now let's go. Boo, land it.
And they will run it with Michelle. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Sony Michel taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
On second down, here's Wentz. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session if he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
To throw, it's Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Elsewhere, they're into the fourth at FedEx Field, and the Lions able to stretch their lead as they score again. A win would be their first of the young season. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go. Boo, land it.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there. And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off. Back to throw. Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it indeed. Here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw to Michelle on the screen. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. He's back to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And it'll bring up third down. Trying to squeeze it in there at this stage of the game. You got to take some chances. Nice job to knock it away, though.
You're so right. Understanding where they are in the game, you've got to take that opportunity and maybe thread the needle. Unable to get it done there.
The Vikings on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now let's go.
Back to throw. Fields. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Operating from the gun. Fields. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation. But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And out now come the Eagles. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They're throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Wentz to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Back to throw. Wentz. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's 4th. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Automatic first down.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And the 13-year man puts it through, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. On the handoff, it's Michelle. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Automatic first down.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a little floater there is incomplete. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They'll run it. This is Michelle. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13 and also a first down. Part of the reason we're in overtime, all the interceptions he's thrown in this game, but that was a good throw right there.
Hey, he's really not daunted, is he, partner? I mean, it's been interception palooza for him, and he's still pushing it downfield, trying to make a play, and he was successful on that throw.
On the ground, Michelle. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. And a costly, costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They've got some decisions to make now. In field goal range already. How do you play this out?
You check with your kicker to make sure the spot that he told you that he wants it is still the same as the game has gone on, because sometimes the kickers have to make adjustments. They may all of a sudden become more confident about their range and their spot. They may become less confident about it. Where do you want it, and what is the range that we need to get into for you to kick the one through the post for us to win it?
So this game possibly could end on the foot of the kicker here in overtime.
Now let's go. 3-19.
To throw on second down. Fields. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Looking to throw on second down. Fields. Flushed out right. And it's a fumble. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Wynn's going to try and throw on third. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Bradley Pinion now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And now out comes Minnesota. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Gotta be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Here we go now.
To throw on 2nd down, Fields. And that is incomplete here.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
3-19.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Here's Matt Wild now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. And they'll go on the ground. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Go. Waiting. We're done.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. The defense does its job. Now they're going to get the ball here in overtime with a chance to win it.
Major league kudos to them because to get the ball back in this spot, everything was on them. It had to happen, and they pulled it off. They'll get it back for their offense with a chance to win.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. This is Michel on the counter, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Off the play fake, Fields going deep for Diggs. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, great game making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Vikings, it was a game that could have gone either way, but they get the touchdown in overtime to secure the Week 1 victory. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week. Indianapolis Colts. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.